I'm Chuck.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Kim.
I'm Mark.
I'm John.
Skin cancer is among the most common cancer diagnoses. It can be further broken down into 4 types, with some being more serious than others. Everyone loves when summertime comes around. Weekends are spent by the pool, lake, or just relaxing. However, one big mistake that people will make is not putting on sunscreen, not using other kinds of sun protection, or not monitoring their sun exposure. The Center for Disease Control states that about 77,000 people were diagnosed with skin cancer. About 94,000 of those diagnosed died. People need to be more informed about the effects of skin cancer. The Cancer Treatment Centers of America identifies 4 main different types of cancer. The most common types are basal cell, squamous cell, Merkel cell, and melanoma. As a lover of the sun, I feel it is important to educate yourself on the risk and how to protect yourself. To start off, the first type of skin cancer to be described is basal cell. The CDC states that there are 3 million cases of skin cancer diagnosis, and 80% of those diagnosed are from basal cell. Basal cell carcinoma is most commonly found in those areas that receive the most sunlight. It grows slowly and usually does not spread, however it can reoccur in its original location. To continue, the next most common type is squamous cell. Squamous cell is the second most common and resembles basal cell. It's also found in areas that receive the most sunlight, like the face, neck, and ears. It's unlikely to spread, but can go deeper into the fatty tissue beneath the skin. A more serious type of cancer is melanoma. Unlike the types mentioned before, melanoma can spread to the lymph nodes and other areas of the body, making it more of a threat. Melanoma are the cells that darken when exposed to sunlight. It only accounts for about 2% of all cases, however, it's also to blame for the majority of the deaths. Lastly, Merkel cell carcinoma is the final cancer type to go over and also one of the most serious as well. Merkel cell is responsible for our sense of touch. Like other types mentioned above, it's also found in areas exposed to sunlight. However, it is more of a risk for those with a compromised immune system or those older in age. This type of cancer can spread, unlike the other types mentioned above. It can spread to the brain, bones, liver, and lungs. Now that the different types of cancer have been identified, it's important to go over the prevention as well. There are several ways that skin cancer can be prevented, and there are also things to avoid that will decrease your chances of getting cancer. For starters, decreasing your exposure to the sun can have a great impact on reducing your chances of developing skin cancer. During extended stays in the sun, sunscreen should be worn and reapplied. A sunscreen with an SPF of at least 15 should be used and reapplied after swimming or sweating. Other ways to protect yourself include wearing hats, light clothing, or making sure you have access to shaded areas. The CDC states that the sun can damage your skin in as little as 15 minutes. Some things to avoid are tanning beds, long-term exposure, and avoid getting burnt. To conclude, now that you're aware of the risk of skin cancer and the different types, you can begin protecting yourself. Some key points to remember are always wear sunscreen, do not expose yourself to sunlight for long periods of time. Skin cancer is the most common type of cancer and can lead to death. It's important to protect yourself and also get checked for sites that could possibly be cancerous. Prevention is key when it comes to skin cancer.